Anytime there's an influx of money into people's bank accounts, there's going to be an influx of scammers trying to get to that money. And the PFD is a perfect opportunity for something like that.
Today on the Morning Edition, with PFD cash dropping into Alaskans' accounts this week, fraudsters aren't far behind. Our investigative team shows you the red flags to watch for and how to keep every dollar safe. Then changes could be coming soon to Alaska's airspace, especially in and around Anchorage. The FAA has proposed substantial changes. We'll bring you the latest. And later, a secret, a game, a plan. Sound ominous? Well, it's actually not this time. A player in the Palmer High School football game surprised his long-term girlfriend with a proposal. We'll show you how it went as the Morning Edition starts now. Well, isn't that sweet? A little football romance.
I tell you, there's two things I love watching. One is those YouTube videos, TikTok videos of soldiers coming home, seeing their kids, and the others is proposals. They just set something off in you.
I know, same.
Well, we are waking up this morning. We've got some more sunshine in the forecast, pleasant fall conditions to be expected. You may see some light frost across portions of South Central as we kickstart your Tuesday, but as that sun rises, any frost potential that we do have across South Central will quickly melt away. 38 degrees is what we're currently sitting at here in Anchorage, so we do have a chill in the air to start off the morning with just a light wind chill at 34 degrees, and we do have some areas across South Central where we are sitting at freezing or just below freezing. Golcana, Eureka, even out towards Cordova, officially seeing that first freeze of the season here in Anchorage and western parts of South Central. While some locations have seen that freezing mark, we have yet to officially hit it here in Anchorage. Portions of the Kenai also saw that freezing mark yesterday. And we are dry this morning. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds. Some areas may hold on to a bit more cloud coverage to start off the morning, but we will see mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies sticking around throughout the afternoon hours. And then as we look off towards the west, out over the open waters of the Bering and through the Aleutians, this is our next storm system. It moves in overnight into our Thursday as we are expected to see this multi-day system that will bring rain into our Wednesday as well as Thursday before tapering off. We're also going to be seeing some winds increasing across western Alaska, and this will also bring a chance for some wintry mix for areas of the interior as we welcome in your Wednesday. So be prepared for that rain to ramp up overnight on into your morning commute for your Wednesday. We are dry today, and we will see some sunshine, so we at least have another day of holding on to some pleasant conditions before those rain showers do arrive. And again, we're expecting this rain to likely stay with us Wednesday and then gradually taper off as we welcome in our Thursday. We can't rule out some possible fog this morning, but largely expecting some of those clear conditions for that commute. But just be prepared that you could encounter some of those foggy conditions. 51 degrees by the time you head home from that bus stop forecast today. Pleasant weather, but that rain is arriving into our Wednesday. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
State leaders are reminding the public to be hyper aware of scams this time of year as Alaskans prepare to receive their permanent fund dividend payments this week. Our investigative team's Johnson Kuhn spoke with some of those leaders and explains what to watch out for.
We're just asking folks what they plan on using their PFD for.
Moving expenses.
No matter what the plan may be,
give it to our church and then we'll save the rest of it.
Everyone's got a plan for the PFD. Set at $1,000 this year, eligible Alaskans are ready and waiting for those first disbursements to land in bank accounts on October 2nd. But also ready and waiting are the would-be faceless scammers who are hard at work to make sure the bank accounts those funds are landing in aren't your own.
We have seen more this year than we had seen in previous years.
The Department of Revenue confirming this year is no exception. Scott Stair is the department's investigations manager. He says in addition to reports about emails, they're seeing plenty of reports about text messages as well, each containing links designed to collect your personal data.
The ones I've seen are referring to the PFD as some sort of PFD refund and that you've been approved and to click on this particular tab and that'll transfer you to a site to be able to claim your prize.
But Scott says not only will you never be asked to claim your PFD, you'll also never be asked to make payments online or over the phone. And the Department of Revenue isn't the only one.
I can promise you there's not a single local police department or Alaska State Trooper office that's calling anybody asking for any money over the phone.
Alaska State Troopers say anytime there's an influx of money into bank accounts, scams aren't far behind. The trouble, they say, is actually holding fraudsters accountable, as most scams come from overseas, making it virtually impossible to track down. All the more reason staying vigilant is your best and often only line of defense. to ensure that no matter what your plan for the PFD may be,
You give it to my grandkids.
I don't need a PFD.
that plan never becomes losing it all to a scam.
There's art or science of scam artists separating good people from their money. It's as old as time. It's not going to end anytime soon.
Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
We have an update about the child who died this past weekend. We've learned the death is a homicide. 2 people in the Mat-Su Valley are charged in the 4-year-old's death. A grand jury in Palmer indicted 37-year-old Jackie Caswell on second-degree murder, criminally negligent homicide, and multiple counts of endangering the welfare of a child. 37-year-old Sergei Krukov was also charged with child endangerment. Troopers say the case began August 11th in Wasilla when officers responded to a call of a child in need of CPR. The child was taken to the hospital and the death was ruled a homicide. Investigators say Caswell and Krukov went into hiding after warrants were issued. Both were arrested Saturday. Troopers say the child was in the pair's care but not related to them. We received a statement from Trina Sears, the district attorney in Palmer. Quote, Jackie Caswell is charged with murder in the second degree of a 4-year-old child by kicking her and causing traumatic brain injury. A witness to the assault also reported Caswell and her husband, the co-defendant, would deprive the child of food. The witness also tried to sneak her food, unquote. The cause of death has not been released. The investigation is still ongoing. 50-year-old Bobby Alexi of Kenai was sentenced to 97.5 years with 47 years suspended. Prosecutors say he admitted to the abuse in recorded conversations, but he blamed his victims and alcohol. The judge emphasized the need for the restoration of the victims and community. Changes to air traffic control procedures in and around Alaska could be coming soon. The FAA is currently conducting a study focused on Anchorage airspace and has proposed substantial changes. The study was prompted by the extension of runway 16/34 on Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, a project that has been underway since 2018 and is scheduled for completion this year. Due to that extension, the FAA and air traffic control professionals say they've been taking a holistic look at Anchorage's airspace, proposing new classifications, traffic patterns, and flight procedures. Not only is their intent to streamline efficiency, but also to avoid near collisions, of which there has been an uptick in recent years.
And in essence, for us, that causes a safety problem because there was the potential or likelihood if the aircraft were to remain on their present courses, altitudes, you could have a collision, you could have an incident that would occur.
The FAA is also accepting input from the public on the study. Comments can be mailed or submitted to their website before the period deadline on October 24th. Big changes to Alaska's public lands. The Trump administration is moving ahead with plans to close some U.S. Forest Service offices in the state as part of a nationwide reorganization. Public comment on the plan is open through tomorrow. The Forest Service, under the U.S. Department of Agriculture, has offices across Alaska, but it's unclear how many will remain open. The future of the agency's visitor centers in Portage, Juneau, and Ketchikan are also still up in the air. Yesterday, Alaska's news source had a conversation with Emma Wolfhorst from our Washington, D.C. bureau to get the very latest on the potential federal government shutdown.
Well, John, we are still in a stalemate here. This was the president's first meeting with the top 4 congressional leaders since starting his second term, and both sides leaving the meeting showed no signs of backing down on their demands. Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters at the White House that he thinks the country is headed into a shutdown because, quote, the Democrats won't do the right thing, end quote. Democrats want Congress to roll back Medicaid cuts and extend health care benefits. Republicans say they're willing to take up that issue, but not right now. They say it can be pushed to later on in the year.
Coming up next on the Morning Edition, rural Alaska public media stations may be set to receive a boon due to a deal Senator Dan Sullivan has struck with the federal government.
Sunshine expected today, but we will see the return to some rain and some wintry mix through the interior as we welcome in our Wednesday. I'll have more on that, but first the sunrise, 8:04 in Anchorage, 8:43 in Utqiagvik. Your full forecast is next. Well, there's absolutely no reason to travel when Alaska looks like this. Here are some drone videos shot by Alaska's news source this week showing the color-changing leaves and landscapes from up above over Anchorage. What a sight to see. You're seeing that chlorophyll, which is those green colors. Those are kind of dying off as the trees kind of shut down their production. You're seeing those anthocyanins and those other colors pop through, which those are actually the true colors of trees. Those greens that you see, not actually the true colors. So the true colors of fall, they tend to show right around this time of year. So hopefully you've been able to get outdoors and about Adelmi, because those fall colors, I mean, man, they're a stunning sight to see.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, we are continuing to hold on to some of those chilly conditions across the state. So we are seeing not only that transition in those fall colors, but we're also seeing cooler weather continue to build in from the west. Now, with that said, we do have a storm that's moving in over the Bering Sea. This will actually drive in some warmer conditions for the state. It will lead to some rain Wednesday through at least the first part of Thursday for South Central, and we'll see some wintry mix, if not some snow, for portions of the interior. Even areas out west could see the chance for some light wintry mix, if not some snow accumulation. We're waking up this morning 20s, 30s, and 40s across the state. You can see some light snow continues as you head along the slope, and then areas of the eastern interior, far reaches of the eastern interior, are also waking up to some light flurry activity, which is continuing this morning. But as far as our area of low pressure, that continues to build into the Bering. Notice that frontal system associated with it, so a warm front will lift into the state, and this will lead to a gradual but slow warming trend by week's end. The interior, you're actually going to see those overnight lows drop or jump from the 20s back into the mid to upper 30s by week's end. So any snow chances will quickly come to an end, with rain expected as we welcome in the close of this week. We'll also see some windy conditions out west, very short-lived winds throughout today and into our Wednesday, but be prepared out west where we could see gusts of about 40 to 50 miles per hour here in South Central. We'll also see some breezy conditions arrive as we welcome in our Wednesday. So there's our storm system. It will begin to build inland as we welcome in the afternoon hours today. So be prepared for areas of southwest Alaska, the Yukon Delta, Gamble, St. Lawrence, out towards portions of the Seward Peninsula. Later this afternoon into the early evening, we'll begin to see some light rain showers, if not some wintry mix embedded within that. This will largely be temperature dependent. If we're still in the mid to upper 30s, we may see more in the way of a wintry mix. But as those temperatures warm, you'll see that transition to some rain. And then here in South Central, as we welcome in tomorrow morning, the morning commute may bring some light rain showers, and then that rain will steadily build in through the day tomorrow before tapering off throughout our Thursday. And you can see most of that rain will stay out over the open waters of the Gulf of Alaska. This is also where we'll see some of our stronger winds as we welcome in Wednesday and Thursday. But be prepared for wetter weather to head our way for our Wednesday and Thursday. This is going to kickstart another wet weather pattern across the state. Now, with that said, we'll still see some dry time this week, but we're actually going to see a tilt towards wetter conditions as we transition into October. And we're going to see a decent shot for several rounds of some rain here over the next 1 to 2 weeks. But as you can see, by Thursday morning, many areas across the state or across South Central could be seeing anywhere from a quarter or half an inch to about 1.5 inches of rainfall. So this will bring a decent dump of some rain. You can see so far for the month of September, we're nearly an inch to the good when it comes to the amount of rain we've seen, as it has been a wet September. And as we transition into October, a good portion of the state will see this uptick in wetter weather, with the exception of the southern inner channels, where we've seen nearly 20 inches of rainfall so far this month. So those drier conditions out towards Ketchikan certainly going to be much appreciated. That 7-day forecast, or at least that forecast today across the state, showing those temperatures in Adelmi warming into the 40s and the 50s outside of the slope, which will climb into the 30s.
All right. Thank you so much, Aaron. If you watch us on YouTube TV starting Tuesday, you may notice local NBC stations disappearing from your lineup. It's the result of a contract dispute between YouTube TV and NBC. If you rely on YouTube TV to watch Alaska's news source, you can still catch us over the air with an antenna or a cable or satellite, or streaming anytime on the Alaska's news source app. Rural Alaska public media stations are set to receive millions of dollars in funding boost efforts. That's after a deal Senator Dan Sullivan reportedly struck with the White House, and it seems to be getting closer to distribution. According to Sullivan's spokesperson, $4.5 million will be distributed across 15 mostly rural Alaska stations. It's a result of Sullivan's deal with the Trump administration after public media funding was cut by Congress. The funding these stations will receive is expected to be the same amount they lost from those same cuts. However, the funding is just a one-time thing. Some media leaders say while helpful, it makes next year's budgeting plans more difficult.
Broadcasters, and we talk about the things we can do for funding, ideas and whatnot. We look, I'm trying hard not to be pessimistic about this, but after we receive this money from the BIA, if nothing else comes forward, it's going to be a tough go.
There's no clear deadline set for distribution. It's also not clear whether a potential shutdown could disrupt distribution. For more reaction from public media leaders and the full list of stations, visit our website or mobile app.
You've been listening to the Alaska's News Source podcast. Subscribe to have the latest episodes delivered to your library automatically.